Wow, check out this beautiful graph. This is the Virgin Galactic stock price over the past 6 months. And you can see that we actually hit an all-time high of $60 in February. And since then, we're down about 65%. That's a very significant downfall. But I have a feeling that things are going to change for the better very soon. Hey everyone, welcome back to Underdog Investing. So today I want to talk about that catalyst that I think is going to push the stock up further now. I think it could potentially push it up to $30 and even maybe over $35. So let's jump straight into it. Actually, before I do that, I'll be grateful if you can smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for future updates. Okay, so it actually stems from this tweet on Virgin Galactic Twitter page. This was about 21 hours ago, and this is the mini test flight that they've done actually. So VMS Eve returns to the skies above Spaceport, New Mexico. This flight tested an upgrade that will further improve the performance of our mothership during its smooth climb to release altitude. So, why is this an important tweet? Well, first of all, they hardly tweet anyway, so any kind of news or update is very significant when it comes to Virgin Galactic. But let's have a look at the timeline for Virgin Galactic, and the Motley Fool actually provides a very nice timeline. So you can see in December, they had a failed test flight. This was the VSS Unity test flight, and it was the first of 3 test flights that they're planning before operation. So this failed, and then in February, it was scheduled for a repeat of that test flight, but it actually ended up getting delayed all the way till May. And the reason for the delay is because they had some technical issues with the electromagnetic interference, which was interfering with the ignition motor of the rocket. So they've had a few months now to actually fix that problem, and hopefully in May this test flight will happen, and that's the exact catalyst that I'm talking about that could take this stock to above $35. Now let's break this down. So it's April the 28th at the moment, so in about 2-3 days time we're going to be in May, and this test flight is scheduled for May. There isn't a specific date set yet, but I think it's going to be really close, and this goes back to the tweet that recently got released. So if you have a look here, all they're doing is showing a mothership having a small mini test flight, just a slight improvement, they say, in terms of the performance of the mothership. But one thing that I've noticed in terms of patterns is that before each major test flight, before each official test flight, they actually have these mini mothership test flights. And I have a feeling this is just to prepare for the full test flight. And this is a very good sign. It's a good hint that the full test flight, so the actual first VSS Unity flight will likely happen in May, because they're doing this mini test flight. And it's just a sign. It's not guaranteed, but that's what I think anyway. And going back to the stock price, I have a feeling that we're going to have 2 catalysts based around this news. So the first one will be the actual announcement of the test flight. So the day that they announce the test flight, I think this is going to take the stock from $23 all the way to at least $27, $28, maybe even $30. And the second catalyst is hopefully that test flight happens. And when it does happen, and if it's successful, the stock price can easily hit $35 and more. And I think I'm being conservative when I say that. So it might not sound like a lot, but imagine hitting $35. That's almost about 50-60% increase from these levels. So it's very significant. And not to mention the other catalysts that we have in the near future as well, including the 2 summer test flights, which will hopefully happen. So the second test flight, which will take the full cabin of mission specialists and 2 pilots, and then the third one, which is a really important one, which is going to take Richard Branson into this private astronaut experience. And honestly, with these 2 test flights, if they are successful and if they happen in summer, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit a new all-time high, so above that $60 level in summer if these do happen. So a lot of positive things happening. And the other positive thing as well is that if you imagine, if we have a look at the 1-year chart, you can see we've recently been below $20 for quite a significant period of time. This was just in 2020, and after all this bad news, so the tech sell-off, the large investors like Richard Branson, Chamath, and even ARK Invest selling some of their shares, we're still managing to stay above $20, which is actually a positive sign, and it just shows that this company still has something in there. I have a feeling it's because some investors are still anticipating that the test flight could potentially go ahead, and that could be a major catalyst for this stock to go up. That's why they're not willing to sell at this very moment, because there's a potential for the stock to have a massive run very soon with that test flight. So in my personal opinion, I think that this is a good time to purchase if someone is looking if I was looking for a small trade, I think this is a good time to buy, wait for that test flight to happen, and then sell at the high. But personally, I don't do that. I'm a long-term investor, and I'm looking at the long-term vision of Virgin Galactic. So I'm planning to hold throughout the ups and downs. So also let's have a look at what the other investors feel about this news with this recent mothership test flight. So if this computer will load. So Ashwin Kumar says, I do understand space challenges are the toughest, but we definitely need more transparency on what these challenges are. It's a very new field for investors, and it would be great if you can nerd it out. So I think that's a very good point, and I think we've known for a very long time, and I've always said this, that the PR for Virgin Galactic is lacking slightly, and it's definitely something they should work on. I mean, we should be receiving regular updates, and people who invest in the company are looking for, like Ashwin said, regular updates. So it's a bit like Tesla. People really appreciate the fact that Elon Musk is so candid and honest, open with investors. He gets down to the details that others might find a bit boring, but actually investors really do appreciate these kinds of details. So I think it'd be really good if they update us on a more regular basis and are more open and transparent. So I agree with that. Okay, so happy to see you in the air. I have confidence that you will succeed. Still a major shareholder, and I understand that space is not an easy task to achieve, but with persistence and dedication you will achieve it. The employees are what makes a successful company. So again, I agree with that. It's not an easy task, and definitely safety is number one when we think about space and space tourism. I mean, there will be no tourism if there were any catastrophic test flights, and the reason for that is because people just won't buy the tickets if there are any risks of them dying. These are smart people, these are wealthy people. I mean, they care about their lives. So yeah, it's very important for safety, and taking your time is the main thing. I think those who are patient enough to wait will reap the rewards. Personally, that's what I believe. So I agree with that. But anyway, so that's some of the thoughts from the investors. So that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, I'll be grateful if you can smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for future updates. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you found it useful, please do share this with your friends. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.